Hey everybody, welcome to the Distinctive Agent Show. Todd Conklin here. I think I've got a good show for you today. It's called Boring. Hey everybody, welcome back. And as I said, I had this interesting conversation with somebody the other day where they were telling me that this life of being scheduled or eating correctly or having morning routines or having exercise sessions, like this, all this whole disciplined life seemed so boring. And it was funny as I was having this conversation with her, I have to admit, I knew exactly where she was coming from. Think about it right now in a time where like it's social time, party time, friends, booze, like that's the norm. When we're surrounded by this sort of idea of immediate gratification instead of the discipline for long-term achievement. Well, it sounded boring to me too. Like, I don't know. But here's what I learned, and I want to share with you a little bit about what I told her. Number one, winning is not boring. Winning is not boring. Who I was had gotten me to where I was, and I wanted or maybe even needed to be somebody different and go further. So I needed to change in order for that to happen. And we talked about some specifics. For example, I really wasn't a very good spouse. Like, I couldn't continue to let work interrupt my time with my wife and then say that I wanted a better relationship. No. I needed to create intention behind my actions and my decisions that related to my marriage and my spouse. I really wasn't a very good father. My work took center stage when it came to my time. So, like, I had all the excuses. Like, don't get me wrong. The weight of the world is on me. The economy is bad. If I don't respond to my clients, I'm going to lose them. Like, you all know exactly what they are. You use them. I certainly used them. And it was nonsense. Like, it was, in the end, it was not the father or the leader that I wanted to be. And it wasn't going to change just because I was making these excuses. I needed to simply be different. Question was, would the new way be boring? Work. Hey, listen, work was fun. It was exciting. Like, I chose that industry because I liked excitement. I called it flexibility, right? To do what I wanted, when I wanted, how I wanted. And it was freedom that I was looking for. But the problem was that it didn't feel very free, right? I was tethered to my phone. Vacations, frankly, they kind of sucked. I don't know if if that makes sense to you, but like I wasn't present. I wasn't present with Shannon. I wasn't present with the boys. Or frankly, I wasn't present with those people that I was leading, which frankly were only a couple of people, right? Most of them I was related to. And we got to my health and vitality, and frankly, it was horrible. Like, I can remember one year, I lived at the base of a resort. I can remember one year I only skied 4 days. And that was because clients asked me to. And so, like, why? Well, I was too busy, right? Bullshit. You know what I said, right? Or how about my nutrition? Like, I was traveling, and hey, you can't eat clean when you're traveling, and you're in the car, and you're doing all these things, and here's the bottom line. How many dudes do you know that travel for a living that are overweight and out of shape? I know a lot of them. I was one of them. We hit the road. We eat fast food along the way, all along making excuses. We're lonely when we get there. We don't have any meetings until tomorrow, so we hang out at the lobby bar and have a couple of drinks. We don't hit the gym because, well, we had a couple of drinks, or we don't really know where the gym is. It doesn't feel comfortable. Like, again, all of them are this pile of destruction. So why do we tell these lies? And maybe more importantly, why do we believe them? So I was looking through some of my notes, and I found a book, and he's going to kill me if he ever sees this, but this is a book that Tom Ferry wrote some time back. Obviously, he does not look like this anymore. Sorry, Tom. Anyway, he has a brilliant section in here where he talks about the sure signs of your addiction, and the claim is that we're all addicted in some way, shape, or form to something. So I want to cover a few of these, right? Number one on his list is addiction to opinions of others. I love this, right? You're concerned about what others say or think about you. And you have great ideas and you've got great intentions and you've got great opinions, but you rarely take action on them because you're afraid of what others might say or think. Number two is addiction to drama. This is gossip, y'all. Straight up gossip. These are people who are always seem to have that black cloud, that crisis is always following them around. Addiction to the past. You constantly talk about the past. You're constantly talking about how things have always been done. And as a result, it makes you resistant to the change that needs to take place for you to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Make sense? And then last is addiction to worry. And this is I'm the wet blanket. I can take any idea and come up with all of the reasons that it's not going to work. And as a result, then I'm not going to take action because I'm worried that it's not going to happen or it's not going to work. These are also people that maybe have a difficult time sleeping because they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And oftentimes they're not living in the integrity to do the actions necessary. So their subconscious is always worried. Now, just for sake of being real and authentic, as I read through these, and this was a number of years ago, addiction to drama and addiction to worry were my two. Right? Anyway, thought that was awesome. Big shout out to Tom Ferry for that. So, what's the hack? Well, number one, identifying the goal. I'm talking about high definition goals, folks. High def. I want to feel it, right? What specific, detailed, in the weeds action do I need to take in order to get to the goal, right? That could mean what am I going to do versus what am I not going to do. Number three, what are the milestones? We've got to track and measure these things, folks. Specifically, how am I going to track it? Is it weekly? Is it daily? Is it monthly? Is it quarterly? And then, of course, what are the mindsets? What are the skills that I need to gain, change, get rid of in order for me to be the person that is going to be successful in that goal? Okay, so what I'd like to do now is just use a quick example so that we can give it some real life, right? I'm going to use the traveling business person as an example here just because I was just talking about it. So I might invent the goal, right? I want to look great. What does that look like? Well, I want to have X body fat. I want to have X number of pounds. I want to have the energy and the mindfulness, if you will, of somebody that lives in peak condition, right? That would be the goal. The action, well, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to exercise 5 times a week for a minimum of 45 minutes. That's very, very specific, right? I'm going to eat according to my plan every single day. That's very specific. Got to come up with a plan. I will not drink on school days. Very specific. The milestones then are going to be, when am I going to weigh in? I'm going to do that every Sunday. I'm going to, at the beginning, on the first day of each month, for example, I'm going to get my body fat tested. I'm going to maybe post a photo of me on Instagram, Mark, love it, every day that I work out. I'm going to log my nutrition into an app like MyFitnessPal so that I can be tracking and measuring that. And then, of course, you've got this whole mindset and skills. I need to know, for example, which hotels have fitness accommodations. I need to know which hotels have affiliations. I specifically, when I go to Bozeman, will only stay at the Spring Hill Suites because I know they have great healthy breakfast and they've got a great gym for me to be able to go to work out at. All right. What's my routine going to be for meals? Those that I meet with, they know that I eat healthy. Why? Because I've told them that's how I roll. So as a result, when they schedule meetings for me, they schedule it around healthy food options. Thank you all for that, by the way. That's a huge help. Traveling. If I can't map out my traveling, I bring it. Shannon used to pack me literal healthy snack bags. She's an awesome wife, and that was huge. I also needed to learn what it meant to eat healthy. And I know that sounds silly, but we've had to learn everything. Why would we think that we were just born with this gene that told us what was healthy and not healthy? We don't know. I needed to gain that knowledge. You too, it's called GTS, you can gain that knowledge. And then of course there's this mindset. I needed to go from a mindset that there really wasn't enough time, there were all these challenges, to a mindset that, like, this is just the way I live. This was my lifestyle. This is the way I functioned. That there literally was no other way. That nutrition was medicine or poison, totally my choice. Like, I could determine which I was going to put in my body. That had a major switch and a transition. The outcome of this was a better version of me, which frankly gave me some swagger, right? It was a healthier version that kept me from getting sick. Like, I was amazing how infrequently I was getting sick. An energized, like, machine. I literally felt like a machine that could outlast people half my age, which gave me even more confidence and more swagger. And others began to notice those changes, and they became inspired, which added additional accountability and motivation for me. And ultimately, people just saw me as a healthy person. Listen, I'll say it out loud, like, holy crap, what a difference just a few months and a lot of actions make. So, I can assure you of this, that achieving my goals, having the energy, the swagger, having somebody actually follow your lead, someone celebrating your achievements of your goals, is not boring. Success is not boring. The life of a leader is not boring. It's intoxicating. It's not somber. It's alive. I'm going to tell you right now, putting your goals down, coming up with ways that you're going to achieve them, tracking them and measuring them and celebrating your way through it, changing your mindset, changing your skills and becoming even more, whether it be intellectual or emotionally resilient and accomplishing those goals, it is anything but boring. Hope this helps you, and as always, be distinctive.